I was like, what is this? It's crazy. And will they actually pull this off? And wow, it was just a roller coaster ride after that. Hi, I'm Jamie Durie, and I was actually the original host on the first 2 seasons of The Block.
Welcome to The Block. We give our couples a budget and just 11 weeks to fully renovate their apartments from top to bottom.
Oh my God.
Are you freaking out?
Yes. Adam?
I fixed the problem.
You're going to look really good on telly, aren't you?
I really don't care.
If I can't use this new doorknob, you've now broken that one and it's serious.
I'm not looking at it anymore. I'm not looking at it.
I think when I first got the call to come and host The Block, I was like, what is this? It's crazy. And will they actually pull this off? And wow, it was just a roller coaster ride after that. What was interesting about this show is that it wasn't just about DIY. It was a story of human emotions and what happens to couples and families and brothers and sisters and mates and all that sort of stuff when you throw the stress of building on them, can either be, ecstatic and high-end emotion or catastrophic and very depressing and quite sad. And so watching those curves in the emotional flow of what happens to everyday human beings when you start to disrupt their lives and challenge them with building a house on limited budget in a very high-end way, with all the stresses that building puts upon you, it can really test your relationship.
I didn't think I'd be this stressed.
Are you serious?
You're driving me nuts.
Why'd you just slam in my face?
It's that gentle balance between the emotional highs and lows and also, the tips, the DIY ideas and the extraordinary builds that take place in front of your eyes. And it's lovely to see that sense of struggle because, when we're pushed into a corner, more than likely you're going to come out with, big ideas in small spaces, right? So that's what's great about The Block is that you do push people to the limits, and it does evoke great ideas. It's a platform to share both creativity, the struggles, the ups, the downs, the lessons. I think we're educating Australians, and if not the rest of the world, on new building techniques, design ideas, and I don't think Australians will ever get sick of fresh ideas when it comes to feathering their own nests. That's what's great about The Block. I just knew when we first started on this show that there was something special about it, that it would have a powerful future and that it would continue on. I just didn't know it would continue for this long.
This is going to be the biggest block ever. Welcome to The Block.
But it's amazing, it's become a part of our daily diet in television here in Australia. And hats off to the team for continuing to fly that flag. It makes me very proud to see how far it's gone. I am a bit of a hands-on guy. I do like getting my hands dirty. Whereas, this I had to be quite removed and I had to be the host, and it was their job and their responsibility to, build or demolish or create or whatever. I had to learn to give, just the right amount of feedback so that it was democratic, so that it was even, so that it was an even playing field for all of the partners. And it's hard not to get, emotionally engaged in what they're doing because you can see them making mistakes and you're like, ooh, I wouldn't do that. Or, wow, that's a really good idea. Yeah, it was a lesson in, I guess, getting off the tools and back into host mode, but also staying engaged enough where occasionally I could dive in and knock down a wall here or there, and it was good fun. Channel 9 did a great job in getting behind us in The Block in series 1 and 2, and they were heady days. It was amazing. I mean, we were riding a big wave there. Highest rating show in, I think, television history at that stage. It was incredible. I've just never seen a television show transcend into everyday real life where the entire street was full of people. I mean, it had such an impact on the Australian audience that they were with us along that ride all the way through the journey. And auction days were huge. I mean, it was, you know, we had to get out there and control the crowd and chat to the crowd and keep them engaged and all that sort of stuff, because it takes time to make an episode. You know, it doesn't all happen in 1 hour. So that audience was standing out there committed and engaged and excited to see the auction results and watch some of their couples, their stars, either win or lose. So the couples had something special. There was some grit, there was some sweat, there was some equity, call it sweat equity, that they were putting into these homes. When we first started filming in Bondi, we didn't think those prices were even possible. And suddenly they were breaking records overnight.
$732. $730. 2.5, is it? $750,000 is
$750.
It was a great journey, and I loved every moment of it. I think I'll always have a very, very special place in my heart for the days that I spent on the block. A lot of them I've remained friends with, because you build this bond under a pressure cooker, if you like. And we all became a very close-knit group of mates. And even with the production crew, you know, we had these beautiful moon rings that we used to wear. I've still got it. You know, so it was a culture unlike anything else I've ever worked on. And having worked on, what is it now, like 54 shows throughout the world, both in the US, Asia, and here in Australia, the block is certainly up there as the most challenging, but certainly one of the most powerful shows I've ever worked on. There's something very magic about the format of the block, and I don't think it will ever be replicated anywhere in the world like it has been here in the original series. So I would encourage anyone that may have heard about the block or has seen other versions to check out the original, because this is where the dreams were really birthed.
In 4 weeks' time, the units go to auction, and the couples get to keep any profit they make from the sale. But the biggest winner is the couple who get the highest price, because they also win that cash prize of $100,000. And what a roller coaster ride it's been for our 4 couples.
All in all, what all of these design DIY shows have taught me, I've been able to pick up a lot of great building techniques, but when I put that through my own ethics and my own filter, my new show is really talking about how to take those techniques and make them responsible and ethical and sustainable. Because we can't keep building the way we're building now. So how do we build responsibly? How do we future-proof our houses? How do we make them more sustainable and sit lightly on the planet, where the energy has been thought through, where we're using renewable energy, where we're creating off-grid houses, where we're using, you know, paints that are zero volatile organic compounds, taking all the chemicals out of our house, making sure that these are healthy homes, not just for families, but for our planet. That's what Jamie Durie's Future House is all about. And I couldn't be more excited, because in a way, I'm taking everything I've learnt through my days at Backyard Blitz and The Block and all the other DIY shows, and melding that into what sits right in my heart, which is building sustainably, building ethically, and building for the future. What are our future generations going to get left with? And how can we build today for tomorrow? That's what Future House is all about. Hey everyone out there in YouTube world, thank you so much for watching. I'm super excited for you to see Jamie Durie's Future House. If you'd like to see more, click right here.